Welcome to Stuck Time to Improv. I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff, and I want startups to be wildly successful. One of the major ways people do marketing is social media, and we're going to be talking about mistakes that startups make in social media. Our special guest is Heather Havenwood from heatherhavenwood.com. Thanks for coming, Heather.
Thank you. Thanks for having. This is going to be a really good conversation for this time right now.
What is the biggest media mistake that startups make?
The biggest social media mistake people make right now and companies make right now is one, they are not clear on who their spokesperson is, especially if it's a bigger company or a tech company. Lots of times tech companies just want to be builders and they don't want to have a voice out there or one person to have a voice. That's a big one. The second one is really not getting in alignment with what their messaging is. Just because their company or their technology does a thing doesn't mean that that is actually the messaging in social media. So you don't want to explain the thing. You want to actually have conversations and messaging, just like a political campaign. You want to have messaging that actually lands for people and doesn't talk over their head. So those are some big two mistakes. I work with a lot of founders and tech companies, and they're super geeky, right? And they're like in their building, but they're not salespeople. And so I have to really work with who's the founder, who's the voice of the company, if there's more than one, and then how are we going to articulate what it actually is that you guys do that lands for people so they don't get confused.
Right. And it's about knowing really specifically who your client is
Yes.
and knowing how they hear what you're messaging.
That's
So
a good
it's
point.
really clear. It's about how they hear it. It's about what's in it for them. It's not about your secret sauce, right?
Absolutely. And I have this just fun little story if you don't mind me, Mary. So there's I live in downtown St. Pete and I'm surrounded by condos and grocery stores and I walk out and there's a grocery store right here and there's a gentleman who comes every couple of weeks and has a big sign on him and he takes a blowhorn and he sits there for hours at a time screaming and yelling. I think what he's talking about is an injustice, but like he just is yelling at people and screaming at people for hours at a time. And he's allowed to do it first, for amendment and all that. But I so want to stop him and go, it's not landing, right? It's like you screaming at people is not making a difference. It's not getting you what you want. It's not getting like it doesn't land. So sometimes social media people just scream, if you will, just like push, 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 and it doesn't land. That people can't receive the message to even agree or disagree. So I think that's a really important part. Is your social media just pushing and screaming, or is it resonating and the messaging is really landing so people can come towards you and go further into a deeper business relationship with you? So I think that's a really important part.
Right. And knowing what your call to action is, really
Yes.
giving people something to do with the information you're giving them, right?
Absolutely, a funnel. What's that call to action? What's the next step? If they're interested, like, oh, this resonates for me, this is
Mhm.
landing for me, what can I do next? What is that next step? Get on a call or download a thing or come to the free community. I think right now, the best call to action from social media is actually to go to a free community. Because the reason that is, I like this and I'm doing this myself is that basically people can come inside the community and that's kind of like your fish barrel. Like these are now people who've said from social media, I want to have a deeper relationship with you. And now I want to come into a free community. And that's where you can build a relationship, get them on a book a call, whatever you want to do, virtual event, webinar, things like that. But I think it's a very nice, easy step from social media into a free community. And then from there, you can do a conversion event, a webinar, a book, a call, all kinds of stuff.
And that's a brilliant idea because it's also a way to stir things up and find out which problem these potential clients are most concerned about. And that's where you're going to make your most money, right?
Yes, yes. Because if they're going to join a community, they're probably having whatever the problem is that you're saying that you're solving. They probably have that irritation or quote unquote problem, or they want to make a system or structure
Sure.
better. So they feel that you can probably help them in that, and that if not, they would just like your video and move on versus going deeper into a
Yeah.
relationship with you. So I agree with that
And
completely.
often people have more than one reason for needing the problem solved, right?
Yes, that's a good point because sometimes we talk so much in marketing of the who, and who's the problem, one who, is sometimes you may have what I call the kind of like a curve where you have the main who, but you have what I call the secondary, the primary and the secondary, a third of the who, and you have a main problem, you have a second and third problem, right? So you want to make sure that you tap onto all the problems that people are maybe dealing with, or companies are dealing with, your customers dealing with, but at the same time, really think through what's that primary and then your secondary, because you can tap into that. And then that way you can actually tap into that when you're in sales.
So those are some really great mistakes to point out and solutions for them. There are
You.
more. We'll put your contact information and links into the comments so people can connect with you later. And I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff. I want startups to be wildly successful, and the best way to do that is to book a call with me at businessriff.com. And join us again next time for Stuck Time to Improv.